Hi and welcome back. In the previous video we've created a startup app for React. In this video we'll talk about two servers we're running for development and we'll add a script to run them both at the same time, something to save us some time. Okay, when we open the page at 3000 port, that is the front end of our app, there will be two things happening. Browser will send a request to load page to frontend server with React. React will return all the JavaScript, all the assets, that is images and CSS. So this server will return all components from header, landing page, shop, chatbot, all the browser needs to display the page. Okay, but frontend without data and logic is just a static page. We need backend for loading items on the page and for the bot to be able to communicate. Therefore, frontend will send requests to backend and backend will perform Dialogflow queries, handle actions returned from Dialogflow, connect to database to get information and to store information. Backend can also connect to another API if we need it to. So we need a backend server. You're wondering, will this be the same in production? And the answer is no. In development, we need development servers that can detect code changes, restart, give us errors. We need servers that are optimized for development. And that's why we need two servers, for better development. That's not the case in production. But right now we need two commands to start the servers. What I'll show you now is how we can just have one command for running both servers concurrently. We'll be running both servers concurrently. And the thing is that the module that will help us do this is also called concurrently. Ain't that great? But be careful now, we need to install this module to server. Now we have two package.json files in our app, one for the backend and the other for page. Before installing any module, be careful that you are in the right folder. Right now we need to be above the client folder in the root, that is project folder. So go to terminal to your project folder, not to client. And when you're in the right folder, install the module and install it as a development dependency. We don't need this at production, just for development. Therefore write install concurrently -- save -dev. This will again take some time. While it installs, let's go back to package.json. The one in the root folder, not the one in the client folder. In here we now have only backend command. It runs NodeMoon server for backend. Let's add a command for frontend, so that we can run the frontend without having to move to client folder. I'll add a new command called frontend. Add frontend. And what this command will do is run npm run start. No, not this start, the one in the client folder. How do we tell the script to go to client folder? Well, by adding -- prefix client. So the whole command is npm run start -- prefix client. Like this. Now we can run both backend and frontend from the root directory. But what we wanted was one single command for running both servers, right? Well, it's coming up right now. We'll add another script. This script I'll call dev. Add dev. And we can run both servers by running concurrently. Write concurrently. Now you must escape the double quote. It must be double quote, but because we're using double quote in the beginning, it must be escaped. Now the command npm run backend. Like this. And again, escape double quotes. So concurrently, and then we write all commands that we want to run concurrently. Now add a space and another command. Again, we need to use double quotes for the next command. We use quotes for every command we add. And the next command is npm run frontend. Like this. Save the file. Like this. Now we have the script. Let's try it. Go to terminal. Check that you are in the project folder, not the client folder, but the project folder. And write npm run Deal. And yes, front-end will appear, backend won't open. But if you open it manually, it'll work. Great job! Now you have a script that runs both servers at the same time. This will save you some time. And now we come to some problem. The problem of having to write the path to the backend app every time we use it. The problem is we need to hard code it. And this is a problem. What happens if we move the server to another address? And what happens when we deploy the code to test environment? What happens when we deploy the code to production? We need to change the path at every call. Not sure what I'm talking about? Let me show you. Here we make a call to backend app. And we need to specify the path to backend app API endpoint. In development it will be localhost 5000 port API defa_text_query, for example. And when we deploy to Heroku, this path will need to change to http someapp.heroku.com/API/defa_text_query. Meaning that every time we call the backend, we have an absolute path that needs to change every time the backend app changes the address. Not good. What we want is that we can specify the relative path, a path like API/defa_text_query. And we want our server to know that this request needs to go to backend app server, not frontend server. Yes? This is something we need to solve. Follow me to the next video where we'll tackle this problem some more. See you soon. Bye bye.